A magnitude 6.8 earthquake has rocked the southern coast of Panama and Costa Rica.
The peace in the Gulf of Darien shattered on May 24th. A powerful 6.6 earthquake struck the Panama-Colombia border. And then, as if on cue, a 4.9 aftershock followed close behind. With tremors in such a remote area, scientists are scrambling to find the cause.
I started doing research and found out about HAARP, H-A-A-R-P.
Was it just another earthquake? Or could this be a sign of something more sinister looming beneath the surface? The big scare. The tremors refused to settle. After the initial jolt of the big earthquakes, a flurry of aftershocks rattled the region. Thankfully, these were all minor quakes, registering under 4.0 on the Richter scale. While they didn't cause any damage, they kept jitters high. Panama's National Civil Protection Agency, SINAPROC, sprang into action, assuring everyone that buildings and roads remained intact and there was no tsunami threat. Despite the official pronouncements, social media buzzed with accounts of the tremors, which is proof of the truly unnerving power of earthquakes, even the smaller ones. Both Panamanian and Colombian authorities maintained a steady flow of reassurances, emphasizing the structural integrity of buildings in the absence of a tsunami risk. Their priority was keeping the public calm and informed. The epicenter of the earthquakes lay deep within the Darien Gap, a notoriously treacherous jungle region with a sparse population. This remoteness didn't lessen the impact, however. Towns and cities far from the epicenter felt the tremors, amplifying anxieties. What if human life was at risk? That was the question on everyone's mind. Now, Panama isn't a stranger to earthquakes, but major ones are rare. The last significant quake, a 7.4, struck back in 1962. This historical context helps us understand these recent events as part of the region's geological reality. In the immediate aftermath, emergency teams in both Panama and Colombia mobilized, bracing for further tremors. The focus was on ensuring public safety. Both governments kept communication channels open, providing updates and safety guidelines. Was this too little too late? Only time will tell. Understanding earthquakes. Many times we wonder, what exactly causes these powerful events? The culprit lies deep within Earth's crust, where massive, rigid plates of rock constantly shift and grind against each other. Think of it as a giant puzzle where the pieces are constantly in motion, albeit very slowly, just a few centimeters per year. These plates, driven by the Earth's internal heat and convection currents in the mantle, move along boundaries. These boundaries can be categorized into three types. Convergent boundaries. Here, plates collide. One plate may be forced beneath the other, a process known as subduction, which can trigger earthquakes as the plates buckle and break. The infamous San Andreas Fault in California is a prime example of a convergent boundary. Divergent boundaries. Opposite to convergent boundaries, plates move apart at these zones. As the plates pull away from each other, molten rock from the mantle rises to fill the gap, solidifying as new crust. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a vast underwater mountain range, is an example of a divergent boundary. Earthquakes here are less frequent, but can still occur. Transform boundaries. These boundaries are like giant slip zones where plates slide past each other horizontally. The infamous San Francisco earthquake of 1906 occurred along a transform boundary. Friction between the plates builds up over time, and when it overcomes the force holding them together, a sudden release of energy occurs, causing the ground to shake. The point of rupture within a plate, where the rock breaks due to built-up stress, is called the hypocenter or focus. The location directly above the hypocenter on the Earth's surface is called the epicenter. This is where the shaking is most intense. The energy released during an earthquake travels outward in the form of seismic waves. These waves vibrate the ground, causing the shaking we feel. There are different types of seismic waves, each with its own characteristics and impact on the surface. Clearly, this stuff is very scary. Rethinking disaster response. Disaster preparedness is crucial. Regular drills and public education campaigns empower citizens with the knowledge to protect themselves. Collaboration with local and international organizations strengthens response capabilities. This joined-up approach ensures quick reactions and facilitates long-term planning. The recent tremors serve as a stark reminder of the need for solid disaster plans. Earthquakes are a brutal reminder of nature's ability to disrupt everyday life. Yet the standard response often feels like a well-rehearsed script, lacking innovation or a genuine sense of progress. The swift response is commendable, but it raises questions about our true preparedness. Are we simply accustomed to this reactionary cycle, or are we genuinely ready for future disasters? The veneer of control might mask deeper problems we're failing to address. The constant reassurances from authorities can feel repetitive. This constant promise of preparedness might mask a lack of progress on core issues. Are we simply reacting in the same way every time? Or are we actively making these regions safer? Perhaps we're too focused on the immediate situation to truly anticipate and prepare for the next inevitable event. Officials often react swiftly to disasters, but their solutions can feel like temporary patches rather than lasting fixes. While these actions may quell immediate anxieties, they do little to truly fortify the affected regions for future threats. The critical question lies in the depth and sustainability of our responses. Are we prioritizing efficiency over genuine preparedness? True disaster readiness requires a comprehensive plan that not only addresses emergencies, but also strengthens the region's resilience against future challenges. Historic context in Panama. Beyond the recent tremors lies the rich tapestry of Panama's history, woven with tales of conquest, immense wealth, and centuries of strategic significance. Panama's location as a bridge between North and South America has always held immense value. Indigenous tribes like the Guaymi, Cuna, and Choco inhabited the land long before European arrival. Spanish interest peaked in 1501 when Rodrigo de Bastidas landed, lured by whispers of gold and pearls on the northern coast. This discovery ignited further exploration, including Christopher Columbus's 1502 visit, where he too recognized Panama's potential riches. The Spanish planted their first permanent flag in Panama in 1510 with the establishment of Santa Maria la Antigua del Darien by Vasco Núñez de Balboa and Martin Fernández de Enciso. Driven by ambition, Balboa crossed the isthmus in 1513, becoming the first European to lay eyes on the Pacific Ocean from the Americas. He promptly claimed it for Spain, christening it the South Sea. Pedro Arias Davila, appointed by the Spanish crown, established another settlement in 1519 named Nuestra Señora de la Asunción de Panama, which today stands as Panama City. This city rapidly became a hub for Spanish exploration and a collection point for the gold and silver flowing back to Spain. Unfortunately, wealth also attracted pirates, and Panama City gained notoriety after being sacked by English pirate Henry Morgan in 1671. Throughout its colonial era, Panama remained under Spanish control, first as part of the Viceroyalty of Peru, and later under the Viceroyalty of New Granada, encompassing territories that are now Colombia, Venezuela, and Ecuador. Panama declared independence from Spain in 1821 and joined Gran Colombia, a South American union envisioned by Simon Bolivar. However, with Gran Colombia's dissolution in 1831, Panama remained under Colombian rule. The 19th century witnessed a pivotal development, the construction of the first transcontinental railway across Panama, completed in 1855. This ambitious project connected the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, drastically reducing travel time between continents and solidifying Panama's role as a critical transportation artery. As Panama's strategic importance grew, so did international interest in constructing a canal, a task eventually undertaken by the United States in the early 20th century. The Panama Canal, completed in 1914, revolutionized global trade routes, further cementing Panama's position as a vital link between the seas. The confluence of various powers and its role as a major transit route have shaped Panama into a unique cultural tapestry with a complex socio-political landscape. Over the centuries, Panama has navigated a path marked by exploitation and opportunity, securing its place as a focal point in global affairs. forever shaped by its geographical destiny and the ambitions of both local and foreign forces. A fascinating story unfolds when we delve into Panama's history. Woven into its fabric are threads of ancient indigenous cultures, echoes of colonial conquest, and the triumphs of modern advancements, all intricately connected to its strategic geographic position. The 19th century saw the dawn of the canal concept, a vision fueled by the need to streamline maritime travel between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. In the 1880s, Ferdinand de Lesseps, the renowned French engineer behind the Suez Canal, set his sights on this ambitious project. However, his dream was plagued by obstacles. Dwindling financial resources and the relentless onslaught of diseases like malaria and yellow fever decimated the workforce, ultimately leading to the French endeavor's demise. Stepping into the void, the United States, driven by a potent mix of strategic and economic interests, took over the project. They successfully completed the canal in 1914, carving a vital shortcut for ships traversing the oceans and forever altering global maritime trade. This strategic importance played a pivotal role in Panama's independence. On November 3, 1903, with the canal project gaining momentum, Panama, backed by the U.S. eager to control construction and operation, declared its independence from Colombia. In return, the newly formed republic granted the U.S. a 10-mile wide zone encompassing the canal route. This arrangement remained in place until 1999, following the signing of the Torrijos-Carter Treaties in 1977. These treaties paved the way for Panama to reclaim control of the canal at the century's end. The 20th century for Panama was a period of immense change and upheaval. A sudden coup in 1968 saw General Omar Torrijos seize power. Though a strict leader, he enjoyed widespread support for his instrumental role in securing Panamanian control of the canal. However, tragedy struck in 1981 with his unexpected death, leading to General Manuel Noriega's rise. Notorious for his brutality and involvement in illegal activities, Noriega's actions strained relations with the U.S. The situation reached a boiling point in December 1989 with Operation Just Cause, a U.S. military invasion aimed at ousting Noriega. The stated reasons for the intervention included curbing the drug trade and protecting American lives. Captured Noriega was ultimately tried and imprisoned in the U.S. With Noriega's fall, Panama embarked on a path towards democracy. Guillermo Endara, the rightful winner of the 1989 elections blocked by Noriega, assumed the presidency. Since then, Panama has channeled its focus towards fortifying its democratic structures and fueling economic growth. The financial sector has blossomed in recent years, reaping the benefits of the Panama Canal. The canal itself remains a critical artery of global shipping, contributing significantly to the nation's economic well-being. Beyond this economic engine, Panama has nurtured a thriving tourism industry, captivating visitors with its breathtaking landscapes, diverse ecosystems, and rich cultural tapestry. The constant dance of Earth's tectonic plates beneath the Caribbean Sea reminds us of the powerful forces at play, shaping significant change on the surface. Now let's dive into how exactly these tectonic movements shape the Caribbean islands. A tectonic tale. The Caribbean islands sit on a geological merry-go-round, a complex dance involving at least 4 major tectonic plates. These heavyweight players, North America, South America, Nazca, and Cocos, jostle and shove, creating a dynamic landscape. In some areas like Guatemala, northern Venezuela, and around the Cayman Ridge, the Earth's crust isn't just waltzing, it's getting ripped apart. This violent tango creates deep ocean trenches and chains of volcanoes, a testament to the immense forces at play. Here, the ocean floor gets shoved under the edges of the Caribbean plate, a slow, relentless subduction process. The North American plate, meanwhile, performs a slow westward sashay relative to the Caribbean plate. This movement, at a leisurely 0.8 inches per year, is governed by a series of fault lines. These lines, like the Swan Island and Oriente faults, trace the southern and northern edges of the Cayman Trench, a deep scar marking the subduction zone. Things get even more intricate further east, between the Dominican Republic and Barbuda. Here, the North American plate takes on an almost parallel stance, sliding under the Caribbean plate. This intricate choreography has birthed the Puerto Rico Trench, a colossal chasm and a zone of moderate earthquakes within the submerged North American plate. While this subduction zone has the potential for a mega earthquake, luckily, none have occurred in recent history. This geological ballet is a constant reminder of Earth's dynamism. The relentless movement of tectonic plates sculpts the landscape, forming diverse geological features. It also plays a starring role in the region's earthquake activity. Understanding these intricate interactions allows scientists to assess earthquake risks and prepare for future seismic events. It's not just about predicting where the next big one might strike, but also about piecing together the story of Earth's surface over millions of years. The most recent major earthquake likely resulted from a clash between tectonic plates in this region on May 2, 1787. This tremor caused widespread damage across the northern coast of Puerto Rico, particularly in Arecibo and San Juan. Since the 20th century, the two most powerful earthquakes recorded here were whoppers: an 8.0 magnitude monster near Samana in 1946, and a 7.6 magnitude event in the Mona Passage in 1943. Both were shallow quakes, occurring along thrust faults. The movement between the North American and Caribbean plates in Hispaniola is often managed by a series of left lateral strike-slip faults, like the Septentrional Fault in the north and the infamous Enriquillo Plantan Garden Fault in the south. This latter fault zone is a notorious player, responsible for the devastating 7.0 magnitude earthquake that struck Haiti in 2010. The tremor, followed by numerous aftershocks, left a trail of destruction in its wake. This earthquake echoed a similar tremor that struck the region in 1770. As we travel east and south, the boundary between the tectonic plates bends around Puerto Rico and the northern Lesser Antilles. Here, the Caribbean plate's movement relative to its North and South American counterparts becomes straighter, triggering intense island arc tectonics. The North and South American plates are being relentlessly shoved westward beneath the Caribbean plate along the Lesser Antilles Trench at a rate of about 0.8 inches annually. This process triggers moderately deep earthquakes within the subducted plates and ignites a series of active volcanoes along the island arc. Despite being one of the most earthquake-prone areas in the Caribbean, the Lesser Antilles have witnessed relatively few major earthquakes in the last century. However, a notable exception occurred on February 8, 1843, in Guadeloupe. This colossal megathrust earthquake is estimated to have surpassed a magnitude of 8.0. More recently, the most significant earthquake at a moderate depth struck near Martinique in 2007, registering a magnitude of 7.4. These tectonic activities not only sculpt the geological makeup and landscapes of these islands, but also pose constant threats to their inhabitants. Understanding the mechanics and history of these seismic events is critical for preparedness and mitigation efforts. This knowledge equips residents and strengthens infrastructure to better withstand potential future earthquakes. Additionally, it proves invaluable for scientists studying the dynamic interactions between Earth's plates, aiding in predicting the location and timing of future major earthquakes, ultimately saving lives and minimizing damage. The southern boundary of the Caribbean plate, where it meets the South American plate, stretches east-west across Trinidad and western Venezuela, shifting at roughly 0.8 inches per year. This region is characterized by significant transform faults, like the Central Range Fault and the Boconó-San Sebastián El Pilar faults, notorious for causing shallow earthquakes. The most powerful earthquakes recorded here since 1900 were a 7.7 magnitude event that struck Caracas in 1900 and a 6.5 magnitude tremor near the same area in 1967. As we move westward, a vast zone of pressure and shifting unfolds across western Venezuela and central Colombia. The exact boundary of the plates in this northwestern corner of South America remains unclear. However, the region exhibits a transition from the Caribbean-South American plate convergence in the east to the Nazca South American plate convergence in the west. This transitional zone experiences scattered seismic activity, primarily involving smaller, shallow to medium-depth earthquakes. Further west, the tectonic plates along Colombia's coast showcase a different yet equally powerful story of shifting and breaking, shaping the land itself. The subducted portion of the Cocos Plate can reach depths exceeding 186 miles, a zone responsible for several noteworthy intermediate-depth earthquakes since 1900. These include the destructive temblors in El Salvador and Costa Rica. The boundary between the Cocos and Nazca plates is a complex network of transform faults running north-south and spreading centers oriented east-west. The Panama Fracture Zone stands out as the most active and sizable of these features. Stretching from the Galapagos Rift Zone in the south to the Middle America Trench in the north, it forms a critical junction where the Cocos, Nazca, and Caribbean plates converge. Earthquakes along this zone are typically shallow and range from minor to moderate in intensity, with a right lateral strike-slip movement. The most significant tremor recorded here since 1900 occurred in 1962, registering a magnitude of 7.2. These seismic events hold immense geological significance, but they also pose a considerable threat to communities residing in these active zones. Continuous monitoring and well-defined preparedness strategies are crucial for mitigating the risks associated with these earthquakes. Panama, situated at the crossroads of multiple tectonic plates, has a long history of enduring powerful earthquakes. Over the years, the country has been struck by numerous seismic events, many causing widespread damage and loss of life. Here's a closer look at some of the most significant earthquakes that have impacted Panama. The most powerful earthquake ever documented in Panama's history struck on September 7, 1882. Estimates place its magnitude between a staggering 7.9 and 8.3, with the epicenter located near the San Blas Islands. Lasting for about a minute, the earthquake unleashed widespread destruction in Panama City and Colón. Countless buildings, including churches, were reduced to rubble. A devastating tsunami followed the earthquake, severely impacting the San Blas Islands and reaching faraway shores like Nicaragua and Ecuador. This catastrophe claimed roughly 250 lives and left many more injured. It also caused significant infrastructural damage, including the derailment of the Panama Canal Railway and the collapse of the town hall facade. Another noteworthy earthquake struck Panama on May 2, 1621. This tremor, estimated at a magnitude of 6.9, caused severe destruction in the old town of Panama, known as Panama la Vieja. Many stone buildings, including prominent structures like the Council House, Municipal House, and the judge's residence, were demolished. This calamity had a profound impact on the colonial authorities and the local population, which at the time numbered around 5,000. Reports also suggested a small tsunami followed the earthquake, further compounding the devastation. Panama faced two significant seismic events in the early 20th century, stark reminders of the region's vulnerability to earthquakes. On July 18, 1934, an earthquake with a magnitude of 7.7 occurred near the border with Costa Rica. Although this earthquake resulted in limited structural damage, it was felt across a vast area, impacting numerous communities. Another powerful earthquake struck on December 5, 1941, registering a magnitude of 7.6. This tremor caused widespread damage and even triggered a tsunami, a sobering reminder of the ever-present seismic threat looming over the region due to its geological location. Panama's tumultuous history with earthquakes continued in 1991 with the Bocas del Toro earthquake, also known as the Lyman earthquake. This 7.7 magnitude quake, originating in Costa Rica, unleashed devastating consequences in Panama, particularly in the Bocas del Toro province. The earthquake tragically claimed 79 lives and inflicted severe damage on buildings and infrastructure. The Changuinola airport suffered significant destruction, disrupting vital transportation and hindering relief efforts. Thousands of residents were left homeless as their dwellings crumbled or became unsafe. To worsen the situation, the earthquake generated a tsunami that amplified the destruction in coastal areas. On July 30, 2002, another earthquake measuring 6.5 on the Richter scale rattled the region. The epicenter was located off the southeastern coast of the Barica Peninsula, near the border with Costa Rica. Thankfully, there were no reported fatalities from this earthquake. However, it caused significant damage to buildings and infrastructure in both Panama and Costa Rica. A substantial aftershock measuring 6.0 struck a week later, further straining the already damaged structures and heightening anxiety among the affected communities. A colossal undersea earthquake measuring 9.1 slammed into the west coast of Sumatra, Indonesia on December 26, 2004. This megathrust quake unleashed a series of tsunamis that devastated coastal communities across South Asia and East Africa. The catastrophic event tragically claimed the lives of nearly 228,000 people and displaced an estimated 1.7 million individuals across 14 countries. The earthquake's epicenter, located 155 miles southeast of Banda Aceh, Indonesia, at a depth of 18 miles, served as a stark reminder of the immense destructive power held beneath the ocean's surface. Another powerful earthquake struck on March 11, 2011, this time in Tohoku, Japan. Registering a staggering magnitude of 9.0, the earthquake triggered a massive tsunami that caused widespread devastation along the northeastern coast of Japan. This disaster not only resulted in the tragic loss of thousands of lives, but also ignited a severe nuclear crisis at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. The consequences of the earthquake and tsunami extended far beyond the immediate physical damage, severely impacting Japan's economy and infrastructure, particularly industries reliant on nuclear energy. The Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia experienced a powerful earthquake of its own on November 4, 1952. This 9.0 magnitude quake generated a substantial tsunami that caused significant damage in Hawaii, where waves reached heights exceeding 30 feet. Despite the severe property damage in the Hawaiian Islands, there were thankfully no fatalities directly linked to the earthquake. This event highlighted the far-reaching effects of seismic activity, capable of causing significant damage thousands of miles away from the epicenter. A very large earthquake measuring 8.8 struck off the coast of Chile near the Biobío region on February 27, 2010. This earthquake, along with the resulting tsunami, caused the deaths of over 500 people and displaced an estimated 1.8 million individuals. The earthquake's epicenter was located 208 miles southwest of Santiago, Chile's capital, and occurred at a depth of 21 miles below the Earth's surface. The earthquake led to widespread destruction of buildings and other structures, and the economic losses from this event were estimated to be around $30 billion. This significant natural disaster not only impacted the immediate area, but also had long-lasting effects on the region's infrastructure and economy. Yet another powerful earthquake measuring 8.6 on the Richter scale struck the Assam-Tibet region on August 15, 1950. This devastating inland tremor triggered numerous landslides and created large cracks in the ground, leading to widespread destruction of buildings across Tibet and Assam, India. This earthquake tragically claimed the lives of at least 1,500 people. The sheer intensity of the seismic activity even impacted lake levels as far away as Norway, showcasing the far-reaching effects that earthquakes can have on the Earth's geological makeup. Indonesia experienced another crazy earthquake on March 28, 2005, this time registering a magnitude of 8.6 near the island of Nias. This severe earthquake inflicted significant damage on infrastructure and tragically resulted in the deaths of more than 1,300 people. The region was still recovering from the catastrophic 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami when this event struck, highlighting the ongoing seismic threats faced by this area, which is susceptible to frequent and powerful earthquakes. The repeated seismic activity in this part of Indonesia underscores the vulnerability of these communities to natural disasters and emphasizes the need for robust strategies in disaster preparedness and response. But are there some countries that might be more divisive than others? A look at earthquake preparedness strategies in Canada, Italy, and Turkey. Canada, particularly in earthquake-prone regions like British Columbia, prioritizes earthquake resilience. Strict building codes similar to those in the U.S. ensure new structures can withstand strong tremors. Existing infrastructure is also undergoing seismic upgrades to improve its ability to resist shaking. Canada, like the U.S., benefits from advanced technology. Earthquake monitoring systems provide valuable data, allowing scientists to better understand seismic activity and predict potential hazards. Public education initiatives keep residents informed about earthquake risks and safety measures, promoting a culture of preparedness throughout communities. Another really good example is Italy. Having faced destructive earthquakes throughout history, Italy has implemented significant measures. Building codes are rigorously enforced, requiring features like reinforced concrete and seismic retrofits for older structures. The country also boasts a robust national civil protection agency that coordinates emergency response and public education efforts. Regular earthquake drills ensure residents are familiar with safety protocols, while public awareness campaigns keep them informed about potential hazards. In 2016, the Amatrice earthquake, a devastating 6.2 magnitude tremor, struck central Italy. While the earthquake caused significant damage and tragically claimed almost 300 lives, the response efforts demonstrated Italy's evolving preparedness. The National Civil Protection Department played a central role, coordinating emergency response and rescue operations. Italian firefighters, known for their expertise in urban search and rescue, were immediately deployed to locate survivors trapped under collapsed buildings. Additionally, the Italian military provided crucial support with logistics and transportation, ensuring essential supplies reached affected communities quickly. Lastly, we have Turkey. Situated on several tectonic plates, Turkey prioritizes earthquake preparedness. Building codes are constantly evolving, incorporating the latest advancements in earthquake-resistant design. Urban planning also plays a role, with new developments strategically placed to minimize earthquake risks. Turkey actively strengthens existing infrastructure, with a focus on retrofitting older buildings to improve their ability to withstand tremors. Like the other two, public education campaigns are crucial, promoting earthquake safety measures. In 1999, the Izmit earthquake, a devastating 7.6 magnitude tremor, struck northwest Turkey. Although the death toll was high at over 17,000, it could have been significantly worse without the country's response efforts. Following the earthquake, Turkey undertook a significant transformation in its approach to earthquake safety. Building codes were revamped to incorporate stricter earthquake-resistant standards. The government launched extensive urban renewal projects, retrofitting or demolishing older, unsafe structures. Strong building codes, early warning systems, and public education are all crucial for earthquake preparedness. But what about predicting earthquakes themselves? Can science ever truly forecast these powerful events? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.